Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this week. And oh boy, what a week it has been. What the heck's going on? What the heck is going on in that Strait of, I was going to say the Strait of Gibraltar, but I'm sure there's stuff going on there. But the Strait of Hormuz, what is going on down there? So we had a lot of good news towards the end of the week. We got a very green end of the week, and that was because Iran had agreed to open up the strait. And they were like, all right, we got a ceasefire, and Israel has a ceasefire with Lebanon. We're all happy. Let's open up the strait. Well, a few ships decided to go through it, and then Iran started firing on them. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then they came back and said, oh, no, the strait's closed. And the reason they're closing the strait is that, according to Iran, the U.S. still has their blockade sitting there. And the U.S. has no intentions of moving it. They're like, we don't care. We got oil. We're fine. So this is an odd ceasefire. This is an odd ceasefire. And quite literally, we got Donald Trump again coming out on Truth Social this weekend and basically saying, if we don't get a deal, because they're going to meet Pakistan, they're meeting in Pakistan on Monday. If we don't get a deal, well, you got bridges and you've got power plants that we can bomb. So the rhetoric is back on. And I ask a question. And the question I ask is, how is the market going to take this? I mean, we've been down this road before. We've seen this rhetoric before. It's nothing new. And for the most part, a lot of the background noise is already priced into the market. But will this be enough? Will this be enough to push the market back into the red? Will it be enough, or will it be kind of a compromise? Will we see oil go up tomorrow? And maybe the market sort of still hangs out a little bit into the green. So it's going to be kind of interesting. And I'm very interested in hearing what you guys think. So that'll be one of the things that we'll certainly talk about today. What can I say? We do not, oh, by the way, we do not yet have, we did not get a show on Friday. So the way the system works with this is we still have another chance today to grab a show. So if throughout the course of today, we get our 4 supers or 4 gifted subs, whichever combination, we'll add a show for tomorrow. Now, if we don't, then the next show won't actually be, well, the channel members will still have one on Tuesday night, but the next show wouldn't be until Wednesday. So keep that in mind. If we don't do anything, you guys might get a break. You might get a break. It's hard to say. Of course, I'm more than happy to be here all the time. So yeah, and yesterday was my day off. I had a lot of fun yesterday. Started watching some new stuff over there on Netflix. Season 2 of Paradise is out. If you haven't checked out Paradise, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good show. So yeah, we binged most of that. We got 1 episode left of season 2, and then we might be into a drought again. But it was nice to just not really do anything yesterday. But we're ready for this week. It's going to be a good week. I'm looking forward to it. All right, let's check in quickly here with chat. One of the nice things on the weekend show is that because we don't have to jump to the market and go through all of that, I can jump right into the mosh pit immediately. And our mosh pit of finance, we got Jonathan at the front of it. Am I late? Am I late for a very important straight? No, I don't. We got dire straits, I guess. Actually, I've heard that joke used a lot in regards. A lot of news people have said dire straits. So, and those of you who are new, like as in new to the world, you may not know who Dire Straits are. They were a big band in the 80s. They had quite a few hits, for sure. I think their biggest one was Money for Nothing. So anyway, King of Day in the house with a hello all, happy Sunday. Well, hello, King of Day. Hope you're having a good day. All right, Jordan is in the house. Hey, Jordan. Hello, Candace and chat family. Hope all are well this fine 420 weekend. Hope all that participate in the green stuff are prepared. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Yeah, we actually yesterday, guys, it was 24. We had a really nice we had a nice day yesterday. And even though it was supposed to be 24 with rain, the rain itself, it didn't even come until pretty much yesterday evening. So yeah, we had a really nice day. It was nice. Like we had the windows open and didn't have to I have a hoodie for when it's too cold downstairs. I didn't have to wear it. It was great. I loved it. All right, and Nightbot, yes, we do have that open for the Monday show. User says, "Hi, Candace." Well, hello, user. How are you? Um, and Zenial says, "That's why I'm clinging to my cash for now for more buying opportunities." Ah, yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing. If these peace talks fail, we could probably get a good dip. We could probably get a good dip. And here's the thing: there's a half decent chance that these peace talks can fail. Anytime, any kind of, like, even if you look at back when Barack Obama, when he negotiated a deal with Iran, I mean, it took a long time. Trump doesn't have patience for a long time deal. Trump likes to get in, get it done, and see what we're gonna get. See if we can get something out pretty quick. So if it drags on, there's he's I think he's tended to he could get frustrated. So these peace talks, they could go south very easily. So if I had to say, do I think they'll happen? I hope they will happen, but I'd say it's not 100%. I would say it's. I know that Trump wants to get out of it, and based on that alone, I'll say it's a 60% chance that these are successful. So um, that other 40%, though, that's looming pretty large. All right, and let's see. I sold on Tuesday and missed 3.4% jump in HDIF. Oh yeah, it happens. It happens. Like, anybody who sold earlier in the week, we had that strong finish. And, a lot of people missed out on profits if you sold early, for sure. All right. Hammy Leo says, "Hi, Candace. I know we love our something. We love our V. Um, what could V be? Hmm. Um, let's see. Mary is in the house with a hello all, and we got the thumbs up. So, guys, Mary is our official captain of the like button. So, if you've not yet hit that like button, now is the time. So, just give it a good old click, turn it blue. While you guys are doing that, I going to enjoy a little bit of coffee here. Oh gosh, that was very good. I enjoyed that for sure. Bismarcky says, "Happy Sunday, all. We actually had some snow flurries in Toronto today." We did have snow flurries today too, a little tiny bit this morning. So definitely, like I said, yesterday it was 24. Today I think it's 6. Though this morning it was pretty darn chilly. There were some snow flurries. I saw those. I was just like, what? Um, if Trump is involved, my money is on him failing. Okay, fair. Well, he's not in the negotiations himself. So I think it's oh, what the heck? I can't remember the guy's name. The guy married to Ivanka. Is it Kushner? Not Kushner. It's anyway, that guy. That guy is going to be there, and I don't know if JD Vance is involved this time. He might be. He might be. Yep, says, "Happy Sunday, Candace and everyone. I enjoyed the new video about VDY and HDIV very much." Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I got a lot of good ones in the pipe right now. So right now, like, I've got 2 videos right now that are done and ready to go. They're done and ready to go. And I've scripted another one today. So there's some pretty good ones coming up. And those of you into XEI, you'll get a video that features them as well. So there's a lot of good videos in the work. Now it's kind of interesting. Like, it's funny. I ran this channel for years with, basically I was making a video. I would script it one day. I would film it and edit it that next day and then release it to the channel members, and then it would be released for everybody else the following day. Now I am a full week ahead. So I've got 2 videos already made. Now, the beautiful thing with this is if something comes up. So let's say, for example, if I got the flu, or let's say I got laryngitis for a week, I may not be able to live stream that week, but I'd still be able to pop out a couple of videos. So I kind of like having myself a little bit ahead. Or if something happens, if something like a power failure, or like when we had that DeRoche that came through a couple of summers ago. Oh boy, that was a mess. 9 is in the house. I managed to sell most of my XEG and ENCL at the top. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely a huge. I sold CNQ up at the top, so that just pumped a ton of cash into the challenge. So a lot of buying this time around. A lot of buying. All right. Lisa's in the house with a hello, everyone. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing? Luke says, happy Sunday. Strolling on Granville Island today. Feeling good about moving to 40% cash on Friday. Okay, so you're on Granville Island. That is in Vancouver, so gotta love it. Probably a very beautiful day. Now, you guys are going to get a great summer. If you, according to the early forecast, it's going to be nice, hot, probably very little rain summer for the West Coast. The rest of us, we're going to get a cooler summer, so it could be interesting. Paul says, good afternoon. And we got Kat. Let's see. If he wants to get rid of the mess he's created, the first thing he needs to do is stop his ridiculous tweeting. His constant antagonistic rhetoric is not helping the negotiations. Yeah, I agree. I've said this before. He needs a babysitter. So get somebody to sit there, let him, he can write up his Truth Social post and they can look at it and say, okay, here's why this is not a good idea, Mr. President. So yeah, no, I think he needs someone to sort of say, come on, no. You're poking an angry bear with a stick. That's not a great idea. So that's what I'd like to see. And it's gonna be very interesting. And we'll by 6 o'clock here, so in just an hour and a bit, we'll start to see what oil is doing. So I'm suspecting that oil's going to go up a little bit because we still don't have anything moving through the strait. So I think oil's going to go up. We've already seen, and here Paul's mentioning, we've already seen Bitcoin on a downward trajectory since Friday. So yeah, if Bitcoin going down since Friday, are there any indicator markets might be down on Monday, or totally ignore the Iran, Trump, and life goes on? That's the thing. There's enough time on the weekend. We may have, I think we might see a tiny bit of red when it opens, but I think it'll recover into the green. I think it'll still be fine. Most of the market, we're used to this. It's not, and even Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin will recover tomorrow as well. But looking at it right now, and here, let's just pull that up. Oh, how did that happen? Whoops. Oh, that's how that happened. All right. Haha, give me a second here. This is supposed to be here. And for some reason, it went and reset them all on me. And this one here is supposed to be this one. Oh yeah, and here, let's pull up our stage thing here. Oh, I got to pull it up for this one too, I guess. There we go. All right, we got everything back. Now let's go over and take a look here. Let's see, Bitcoin. Yeah, here we go. So here's Bitcoin. So yeah, you can sort of see here, and this here is Friday. We've had a pretty downward trend. However, it's not that bad. If you really look at it, we had a really big pump on Friday, all of the excitement. So it just undid this little bit of excitement here. So I would have been concerned. So if you look at here, this to me, like right about here, this is where I would have been concerned. If we had dropped below roughly 73.9. So basically under 74,000, I would have been a little more concerned. Not to say we won't get there. There's still lots of time left, but I certainly hope that we can hold above there just to sort of keep things in perspective. Balik is in the house with a hey all. And Roku says happy Sunday all, hoping my oil will go up tomorrow. I want to cash out a bit. Yeah, there we go. I think there's a good chance, and we'll find out. Like, both, we should be able to see what oil here is doing here. I believe around 6 o'clock Eastern. That's when that market starts moving. So normally it's towards the end of the stream, though. All right. Paul says just finished some do-it-yourself home maintenance, fixing a door, transition, replacing. I get all sweaty doing 30 minutes of work. Oh yeah. It depends. Well, gosh, when I was in Sea Cadets, we used to have, he wasn't an officer, but he was like a civilian instructor. And we went out to do some work at the boat shed one day, and he was just doing a little bit of planing on the boat. And I've never seen anyone sweat like that. Like, quite literally, it was just water dropping from him, and it was hitting. It was almost like a rain shower. I didn't even think a human could sweat that much without it being a medical emergency. But this guy, he was the biggest sweater I've ever seen. All right. And yeah, guys, if you want to do a show tomorrow, then absolutely. 4 supers or 4 gifted or a combination, and we will throw that on the docket. Let's see, what happens to USD now if Trump fails? Steady fall over a few years? It's a good question. It's a great question, actually. So when we're thinking about USD, one of the things is I like to think about the U.S. economy. So a lot of money has been spent on this war. While the missiles were taking down drones, those missiles, most of them are north of $1 million for a missile. One missile to take down a drone that costs like maybe $1,000. So that's a lot of money. So, obviously that's going to pile on debt, and the U.S. is at record high debts right now, and that means the servicing of that debt gets higher. So let's say we get the peace. That would be great. That means we can stop adding to it. Well, not so fast. What is the U.S. looking at right now? I'll give you a hint. It starts with C and ends with UBA. So, they're looking at starting another operation, which is going to cost a bit more, and that's going to add more. So when you start piling all of that money in and the servicing and just the overall cost of running government, there's a huge chance we could see some money printing in the U.S. A huge chance. And that will, of course, devalue that U.S. dollar. So the U.S. dollar could certainly be down. So we'll have to see. Now, mind you, that'll be interesting. So when the U.S. dollar comes down, things like Bitcoin, which is priced in the U.S. dollar, well, that pushes it up. Because there's, even though it could be still, like Bitcoin may not change in value, but the way we measure it changes in value, so it inflates it for that very reason. So we're going to see, we'll watch, we'll see how this all turns out, but I would say there's a half decent chance. All right, let's see here. Hello, everyone, says Scratch. Oil is at 88.50 right now. Yeah, I'm seeing, well, it depends on where you're looking. I know the one on my tracker right now is showing 86.50 for West Texas Intermediate, and 93.27 rounded up to 28 for Brent. We'll see how this starts moving. And it will start moving, like I said, right now in about an hour and 41 minutes. All right. Afternoon, says Roy. Just came over from the Mike Holmes channel. Awesome. Well, how is Mike Holmes today? I don't really watch Mike Holmes. Let's see here. Ian says, I'm also hoping oil goes up a bit so I can sell some more UNCL. Also, I want to start selling Utes because of the at the money covered calls. Oh, okay. So you want to, yeah, I can understand that. So yes, an ETF like UTS, it's doing at the money, meaning that basically when you look at the strike price, it's written at the spot price. So, if whatever underlying company it's selling, so for example, if it was selling company B that was priced at 1947, they would actually put the strike price at 1947. So by putting it where basically it's already, you can cash it in the second you buy it, they can charge higher. They can charge more on the premium. So that generates more cash, but it gets rid of all of your upside. So there is that, and that's always kind of a bit of a danger with those. It is, now keep in mind though too, if it's only writing on 50%, the other 50% that doesn't have covered calls on it does still get all of its upside. But when you take away half of that upside, it does make a difference. It does make a difference for sure. All right. Paul says Jared Kushner. Oh, there you are. Yeah, there we go. That's who I'm thinking of. Yeah. Bismarcky, anyone in the market for a private jet, please contact Doug Ford. Yeah, so Dougie decided to buy a jet for the government, and people were not happy about it. There were so many people upset that he's now going to sell it. So I'm hoping he can break even in the deal. But a lot of times when that happens, you buy it, you're lucky if you can break even. I don't think they're going to break even. I think we'll have lost money on this one way or another. But yeah, and I'm thinking, what does Doug Ford need a jet for? I mean, all right, you could argue, if you're flying to, Texas to make a deal or something, maybe you could argue that. But, I don't know. There's other options. Buy Air Canada. They need the business. Let's see. I meant ENCL. Oh, okay, that's cool. Because when you said UNCL, I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool name, Uncle. Who is that? I don't know who that is. All right, yeah, ENCL. Trying to send a link. Good luck with that. It's not gonna let you. If you want to send a link, Scratch, don't put the dot in. So just, let's say you were trying to send a link to, I don't know, Ford.ca. Just put, in a case like that, you would say Ford, and then you could type out .dot.ca if you wanted to. But if you just say Ford, you could just say Ford CA. That would be fine. Just don't put the dot in it. Hopefully that'll let you get it through. Rory, let's see, watched an episode of a scammy contractor who took a couple for over $170,000 in house repairs. Oh my God. You know what? Some people, yeah. Some people, to me, it's just like, it's unfathomable. And the worst part is, a lot of these scammy contractors, a lot of the people they take advantage of are older. Like they take advantage of seniors. It's just, I don't know. It's just downright. It's not good. Yeah. Hopefully this couple got their money back, or hopefully they caught the contractor. But oh my God. I don't like it. Let's see, Ian, maybe Utes is not that bad now that you mentioned it's only at the money calls on 50%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. I would never, no matter how good of the underlying asset is, if they were writing covered calls on 100%, I wouldn't touch it. I really like the ones that only go to 33%, but I'm okay with 50%. Well, you take it. So I'll just give you an example here. Let's take a look quickly at somebody. Whoops, let's just go to a different page here. I'm just going to we'll go to the weather for a second. We're not looking at the weather, believe it or not. I just wanted to pull it up. All right, let's grab, I want a global X. Let's grab, let's go with let's go to EQCL. All right, we're going to take a look at EQCL. Uh-oh. Origin is unreachable. Well, how was that? Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Let me just try that one more time. All right. It's still loading. Uh-oh. What is going on? All right, let me try a different one then. We'll go with USCL. Oh, maybe it's a global X thing. Maybe it's a global X thing. Is All right, yeah, global X seems to be having a problem. Maybe. And I wanted to go to global X, but I'm just going to quickly go to somebody else just to make sure. Yeah, everybody else is working. Like there is Mix from Hamilton. Bummer. What I was going to show you is there's a statistic called moneyness. Now, most ETF providers won't show that to you, but what it is, Global X does, moneyness gives you the general idea of how far apart the price is. So if it's out of the money, how much is it out of the money, right? And that's what you get on those pages. So for example, I was looking earlier today at EQCL, and the moneyness, I believe it was 2.48%. So that means that that strike price is 2.48% higher than the spot price. And that's great. That's giving you room for a good amount of growth, actually. That's a pretty good amount of growth. But of course, at the same time, because of that, you're not going to get as, you're not going to get as high of a dividend. So, well, let's just say distribution. Because it's actually interesting, guys. So, and you've probably heard some people will say distribution, some people say dividend. A distribution, so if it's an ETF, and if it's just passing on straight dividends to you, then you technically call it a dividend. But as soon as you add something else to it, it's technically a distribution. So if you have a covered call fund, and you've got, you have dividends in your payment. Part of your payment is dividends, but part of your payments is going to be, well, it'll be listed as ROC, but that would be like your premiums. So what that would be called, in total, it would be called a distribution. So anyway, that's just, most people don't care. Like you can pretty much say it interchangeably and everybody will kind of know what you mean anyway. All right. Very quickly here, guys. We just got a super sticker in here from Paul. So that's a $1 super sticker. And that's our first goat of the day. That is our evil Monopoly goat. So we are one step towards adding a show tomorrow. 3 more, and we will have ourselves a Monday show. All right. Now, where was I? I was... All right, right here. Let's see. Iran is TWP. TWP. I don't know what TWP is. Yeah, I don't know what TWP is. Carl says it's starting to look like Trump wants excuses to continue this war instead of end it. I just buy the market when it's red. Yeah, buying the market when it's red. That's how you make money. Buy the dip. Or dollar cost average. Of course, dollar cost average is one of the best ways to go for sure. Let's see. Iranian is 2 groups, the Civil Authority and the IRGC, 2 groups doing different things. Yes. I have heard of that. I have heard of that for sure. All right. Paul, some medications can make you sweat more. I wonder. Maybe that's what was going on with that guy. Maybe that is what was going on. All right. And let's see. Oil likely to move higher. Overall market should hold its gains tomorrow. And that's kind of where I'm thinking, TA. I'm kind of thinking that we may see a little red in the morning, but it'll mostly be, green. Nothing to brag about. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Oh, and guys, we have another super. Let's jump on over. Redwater in with a $20 super sticker. Thank you very much, Redwater. Always appreciate that. And guys, it's our Bay Street. It's our Bay Street coat. So we are halfway to adding a show tomorrow. Thanks, of course, to Paul and the wonderful Redwater. Thank you once again. All right, now, doop-a-doop-boo. Okay, let's see if I can find where I was. I was right over here. All right, let's see. We'll hold cash to buy stock on Wednesday if they fall, if there is no solution to the war. That'll be interesting. I have a feeling as long as the talks are going well, whatever deadline they have on the talks, I think that'll get extended. As long as the talks are going well, that's all we really have to, I don't think we need to have a solution by Wednesday, but I think as long as we're on the road to a solution, I think that deadline will easily get extended. All right, Scratch says, if you play the short term on oil, you will probably sell your position with all the noise in the news. We have a long way on returns. Don't miss out on this opportunity. So, and I think one of the things that Scratch is getting at here is when you look at this on the long term, oil, actually here, let me show you this. So when you think about oil, we're on WTI here. Perfect. So this here is Friday. And look at this. So the news of the Strait opening, it overcorrected. And of course, once all of the excitement was done, oil started coming back up. And it wasn't coming back up at this point. This point here was not, trouble in the Strait. It hasn't completely opened yet. This is just, correcting for some of that. And the reality is, right now there's going to be a shortage of oil. A lot of oil has not hit the market. A lot of reserves have been used up. And even if we could get oil back so that everybody could get their oil, people will still need to refill their reserves. Nobody's going to leave their reserves empty. So oil is going to be in demand for a while. And we will see higher prices in oil than what we saw before this began. And it's kind of a no-brainer. And it's not just oil. It's not just oil. Natural gas, helium. Some of these things. It's not even just the fact that the Strait. If the Strait opens, it's not that we can get all of that flow back. Some of the production has been damaged in this war. That big facility in Qatar that was bombed. It's a lot of natural gas off the market. That's also a lot of helium off the market. I don't think mercury's been affected, but I honestly, I can't actually say that I don't think. I don't know if mercury's been affected at all, but nonetheless, it is a lot of fun. We're gonna see some supply shocks that are going to persist well beyond this. So that is something to keep in mind for sure. So yeah, right now can you make some money off of oil? Can you make some short plays? You sure can, absolutely. But the long plays are there. And those of you who are bullish on oil in the long term, there's nothing like dollar cost averaging, especially whatever happens in the next little while. If we do have oil down a little bit, not a bad time to be doing that. All right, let's see here. Paul says, how much Bitcoin did Strategy buy this last week? More than the 14,000 Bitcoin the week before. Taylor tweeted, think even bigger. I know that I heard some pretty big numbers, and I don't know if that was in the last week, but I haven't heard much in the last few days. But I know that wasn't there that one that was done through STRC that was recent, but that might be the 14,000 that you're mentioning there. So yeah, what can I say? Jackie, hi, late today. Thank you for the gifted membership a few days ago. Yippee. Yes, I saw that one. I was just like, oh yeah, there's Jackie. Yeah, I love it. All right. Redwater says, guys, Trump is Sudi Amaro. What is that? All right. I'm thinking you're in reference. Is it something to do with Saudi Arabia? I don't know. No, that would be Saudi. SAU. All right. I don't know what that means. I don't. Sometimes I'm naive. For sure. I'm gonna. You know what? Let's just Google it, because you know what? Sometimes there's just things I've just whatever reason I have never heard of it before. Let's try this. Sudi AM. All right. So ARM. Sorry. A. MCO. All right, there we go. Oh, there's a stock. All right. All right. Oh, let's take a look. What is this here? Oh, okay. So America. Okay, that is an oil company. All right. That makes sense. Oh, he's after. Oh, is after. Oh, he wants this company. All right. All right. There we go. All right. I understand what you're saying now, Red. So yeah. All right. So yeah, Saudi Aramco, officially the Saudi Arabian oil company, a majority state-owned petroleum and natural gas company, and the national oil company of Saudi Arabia. Okay. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Now that I know what that means, yeah, I I can believe it, I suppose. And that's the thing. If you look at a lot of these moves that Trump has made, I mean, they've all been against places with oil. So that definitely is interesting. You got Venezuela, Iran. Now, except for Cuba, I don't think Cuba has, as far as I know, I don't know if Cuba, I mean, maybe, I wonder if Cuba has any offshore oil. Now you know what? Well, obviously no, because I mean, Cuba was running out of oil because they were getting all of oil imports, so I don't think they have any. Now, I don't have to actually look that up, but interesting. All right, guys, I was going to say 2 away, but I just noticed something here. We have another super sticker right in here. Let me pull it. Let me attempt to pull it up here. Bang. All right, there we go. So we do have Scratch has in with a super sticker. So awesome. It's a red thumbs up. I love it. All right, and guys, that is our space goat, our moon goat. So awesome, awesome, awesome. So we are 1 away from adding a show tomorrow. It's that simple. It is that easy. I love it. All right. Now, where the banana bread was I? Right about here. All right. Taylor equals sailor. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Wednesday is ex-dividend day for EIT, so hoping for some red to go with the set drop. Rory, 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 Rory. I hope you can get it. I hope it works. You keep missing your EIT buys though. All right, Red says Trump is squeezing the oil coming from the state-owned oil company of Saudi Arabia to force the sale of shares. Oh, okay. And see, I did not know this. All right. And yeah, that we found out that they are the most valuable oil deposit on the planet. All right, let's see. Same with car repair scans with a private mechanic to save a few dollars versus going to a dealership. Absolutely. All right, let's see here. A Wealth says, I saw your video with 9 Point. Which high shares would you suggest we look at? Well, right away, the one I like the most, obviously, is ECHI, and that's because they don't hold all of them because the new Canadian ones that have just been released, they have not yet migrated into ECHI, but I do see them moving into it in the future, of course. So ECHI would be my first, probably my first one. Now, if you're looking at the single shares, the rest of them, it really boils down to which one you have the most confidence in. Like some of them that I have a lot of confidence in, for example, would be Camco. So the Camco one, I think that would be a good addition as well. And the other thing I do like this is what's really neat about the 9 shares. And those of you who haven't seen that interview, definitely check it out. But they tend to run slightly out of the money. So you are still getting a little bit of upside in there. So when you look at the high shares that they have with 9 Point compared to, for example, if you even look at the harvest ones, those ones are more aggressive. So you are getting like your yield is high, but it's not as high as some of these more aggressive ones. And that's cool because you are getting a little bit of that upside. And I think there's a lot of upside especially with the material ones. So any of the gold ones like Kinross, Cameco, obviously uranium. So yeah, I like a lot of them. I like a lot of them. But honestly, for diversification, ECHI is definitely the place to be out of all of them. Let's see. Paul says, I get the global.ca error too. Okay, good. So yeah, it's probably, excuse me, itchy nose. It's probably global. It's probably global. Because yeah, I was like, wait, why isn't that working? So they're the biggest oil producer in the world. Okay, interesting play. Interesting play for Trump. Let's see. Some single stock ETFs underlying can go up 3 to 6% or more in a day. So that moneyness could be an issue. 9 Point said a ladder up to 7% moneyness. Yeah, so yeah, they do have a ladder. So the ladder structure basically, it basically, I wouldn't even worry so much with the ladder. Just look at it this way. The moneyness that they have is going to be in relation to what the market's doing. So for example, if you have a very bullish market and things are flying up, they're going to have a lot more moneyness than what they would have if you've got a flat market. You don't need a lot of moneyness. You could come right into, like, if you've got a pretty flat market, you could pretty much go right to at the money, and that might be the best way to make the most returns for a customer. So I like it when a company does that, when they move things. Evolve is also another company that does tend to do that with some of their funds, but 9 Point is really, really cognizant of it. King of Day, Saudi Aramco is the 8th largest stock in the world with 1.774 trillion market cap. Yes, and that's the thing. At first, because I think with Red had dropped the U, and for some reason I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm like, once I pulled it up and I saw it, I was like, oh right, yeah. Let's see. Scratch says if you want to take a look at NBR, they have the contract for 50 natural gas wells with Saudi Aramco. They don't make much money yet because they spend all of their capex for expansion. They'll be printing money soon. All right, NBR. Let's take a look. Well, that's entertainment. We don't. We don't. Well, maybe that was entertaining that I clicked on entertainment, but let's try this NBR. Here we go. So let's see here. Carlton Precious right here. All right, let's take a look here. I don't think you meant the US one. Or maybe you did. Let's see. Page does not exist. Oh, that's all. Maybe today's going to be that day where I just have nothing but technical issues. It can't be any worse than we'll look at Neighbors Industries here. Let's just go to. We'll see. Maybe this is the one that you meant. We'll know here in a second. No, this is, let's see, Advanced Technology for Energy Industry. Okay. Oh, well, I like the sound of that, actually. I wonder what it looks like. This here is NBRUS. Look at this. Yeah, I said I like the sound of it, and now I understand why I like the sound of it. Look at this. That's not too shabby. They've, in the last year, oh my God, they've gone from $28 to $79. This is a US one though as well. So let's see, leading provider for advanced technology for the energy industry. So, you know, they operate in like 20 countries, global network of people, technology, and equipment. Okay. Yeah, I like this. I like this. I'm kind of, I know this is not the one that you're talking about, Scratch. Just give me, I'll get there in a second though. Let's come down here and take a look here. Oh, they do have a lot of debt though. Look at that, 424% debt to equity. So a lot of debt. I don't like that. The return on equity though. Here's this thing though. I'm going to point this out. When you have a really high debt to equity ratio, it can sometimes skew that return on equity. So I don't know. I would take the 81% with a grain of salt in this case because of this high value here. So yeah, very little dividend, small dividend, 1 cent. So yeah, not a quarterly dividend of a penny. Every quarter they'll throw you a penny. Not too shabby, but I do like what this company is doing, and they probably have been. I'm assuming that debt is probably going to be a lot of their expansion, but at the same time, I would want to look a bit deeper into that because that is a lot of debt. But all right, let's see if I can. I'm going to try once again to see if I can get into NBR. This one over here. Let's actually let's go this one. Page does not. Why is it? All right, let's try this with, we'll try it with Yahoo Finance. All right, NBR, NBR. Come on, Yahoo. Let's give me something. Give me something. NBR. Here we go. All right, there is that one there. Oh boy, it's not giving me anything at all, is it? Was that on the V? Let me just try that. No, it was not. All right. Oh boy. All right. Well, I'm not having a lot of luck. But yeah, I mean, it could be interesting. It could be interesting for sure. All right. The Mountain Finance Telethon. Oh my God. Could you imagine? I do a 24-hour telethon. Not to say I would never ever do that, but I mean, if I ever did something like that, obviously, we'd have to have like an actual charity or something that we were doing it for. I don't know if it would be 24 hours. That seems like a little bit long, but it could be like a 6-hour telethon or something. I'll keep that on the back of my mind because that would kind of be fun. All right. Danielle says, hello all. Candace, how do you deal with all-time highs? I'm often debating if I should sell my winners, but then what to buy after. For example, I made more than 100% with Royal Bank. Can it go higher? All right. Fair enough. So all-time highs. One of the big realities with all-time highs is that they always keep happening. And the one proof of that is that I get asked this question all the time. And why do I get asked it all the time? Because we're always hitting all-time highs over and over again. So how do you handle it? So it's kind of this interesting thing. So first of all, I look at what my runway is for investing. So if I'm investing for the long term. So let's say I am, maybe I'm 30, maybe I'm 40, and I got lots of time before retirement. Then all-time highs mean nothing to me. Really, they wouldn't. I would be just dollar cost averaging into the things that I have high conviction on. This is just, we're talking investing. We're not talking trading here. We're talking investing. So that's what I would do. I would just dollar cost average. Just keep on dollar cost averaging. Buy whether it's high, low, in between. I wouldn't be worried about profits because I'm building towards, I'm looking to build and to compound all my growth as I go. So that's the way I would handle that. Now, with that being said, if I have a shorter runway, so let's say I'm getting close to, let's say I'm eyeing retirement. Retirement's not that far off. And some of my growth, like if I've got let's say I have a hybrid portfolio, so I'm more of a growth income investor. Well, if I'm eyeing that portfolio and I see some big growth, I could look at it and say, gosh, is CNQ going to hit this high again? Or, I could just take that and I could really beef up some of my income stuff. And I kind of did that in the 0 to 100K challenge. So I had CNQ, and earlier in this week, I sold at all-time highs. I sold the whole position, and what did I do? I sat on it for a few days because that potential for peace was there. And we got it. We got the straight opening. That was actually better than I was actually planning to hold it for the next set of talks. But the straight opened on Friday, and that really plunged oil. So what did I do? I've been planning to turn that more into an income position. So I just pretty much funneled most of that into ENCL, and that created that larger income position. So that's just another couple of ways that you can sort of look at it. So it really boils down to, for example, here's another good example too. With Royal Bank, for example, if they're at all-time highs and you're thinking, you know what, I really want to take that. You don't have to take all of it. You can take whatever amount of profit you want. Then if you're looking, like, let's say you wanted to not be holding all of the separate banks, maybe you want to go to a bank ETF. Maybe, it doesn't even have to be a covered call. It could be just a regular growth one. There'd be options to do that as well. So yeah, I mean, I always look at it this way, and here's a good example as well. I just want to sort of show you one thing here. And I always come back to this when when I get asked this question. So this here is your Vanguard S&P 500 index. All right. And I'm going to pull up, I'll pull up the 15-year on this one. Here we go. You'll notice it always keeps growing. It always keeps going. And a lot of times, so somebody's sitting here saying, oh gosh, you know what? It's never going to, it's never going to go this high again. Well, yeah, it's not that long later, you've left that height forever. Well, not forever. I mean, technically, we kind of got back to that during the pandemic there. But it does always go up. Yes, you do get periods where it goes down. And that's where dollar cost averaging comes in, because you don't have to put any thought in it, because you might be buying here, 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 then here, then here. So you end up getting a very fair value right through the middle. But overall, yeah, all-time highs will continue to go up. Unless, of course, yeah, if you bought here, this is the last bear market. So if you bought here, and here I'll pull it back a little bit so we can see a bit better. There we go. We can't see that on the 5-year anymore, can we? Oh yeah, we can. We still can see it on the 5-year. So here it is. This is that last bear market right here. So yeah, if you bought it right here, yeah, it's all red for a while, but it doesn't take long before you make it back up. So that's kind of the thing. And when you have that long runway, as I was mentioning, then it's not an issue. Because like I said, that dollar cost averager, if they happen to buy at this very top, they're probably bought here, they probably bought here, they probably bought here, they probably bought here. So, it averages down. It averages down. All right. And very quickly, Scratch is in with a super sticker. And yeah, $2. So let's take it. Sorry, super chat. All right. Before we get to Scratch's comment, let's just very quickly drop in our Professor Goat. We did, and that also adds as a show. We have a show tomorrow. So we will be doing a market close on Monday. And here, let me turn off. I'm going to turn off the Financial Express because we have hit the target. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. You had the one to look at the price before 2008. That was what, with NBR? Let me just try this again. NBR. All right. Let's see here. I can try one of these other ones here. Let me just, let's see here. Page does not exist. All right. NBR. All right, we'll try. Oh, I'm actually going to go right down here to the bottom. Let's try the CC. All right, page does not exist. NBR. All right, we'll try this again. I'll go APH. I think, yeah, I don't think any of them are working, unless you were talking about, let's see here. Let's go to the links, LY. Nope. Yeah, they're not. These ones are just not working for me, Scratch. I don't know why. Actually, let's try going at it a completely different way. Google. Let's see, NBR stock. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, there's neighbors, and we don't want neighbors. NBR on Robinhood. No, neighbors. Oh, come on, give me something other than neighbors. Neighbors Industries. All right. I think that's not going to help. Let me try one more thing here. Whoops. That's Canva right there. All right. NBR. All right. I just want okay, this is Carlton Precious. I'll do it that way. Let's see here. All right. Let's try it this way. Carlton Precious. Stock. I'll just go with this. All right, let's take a look at it this way. All right. So CPI and no chart available. Okay, what are we looking at? All right, well, this one might be at CPI. I wonder if this is the same. This has to be the same company, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's now CPI. It's got the same price. All right, and we got some data here. Let's see. Well, I like the beta on them. All right, let me try that over here, CPI. We'll see if this is the one here. Yeah, okay, there we go. I can go to CPI. All right, and let's just take one quick gander down here. So let's see, publicly traded precious and base metals exploration company listed on the TSX Venture. Okay, so it's not giving me a lot of information here. Now that doesn't sound like what you were talking about though, Scratch. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm in the right spot. I'm not 100% sure. Oh boy. All right. Okay. Let me just see here. Okay, all right. All right. So you are saying the U.S. one. All right. Well, we did look at the U.S. one. I liked the U.S. one, NBR. So yeah, we looked at that a second ago. NBR. Let me just pull this back up here again. So yeah, exactly. This is the one that we were looking at. If you guys remember, the one that had the 400 right here, 424% debt to equity ratio. So yeah, this one looks interesting. Like, I mean, look at the movement. When you look at the chart movement, let's go back here to the overview and we'll just look at the last year. I mean, this has been on a tear. So yeah, I like it, other than I'd want to know why they have so much debt. But it sounds to me like it might be expansion. It might be expansion related. I'd have to do a bit more of a search on that. All right, let's see here. We're the banana bread. Where are we? We're at Vineet, right here. Vineet says, hey, Vineet, how are you? TA, INTC, UNHGE, TSLA, PG and BA report Q1 earnings this week. Can you offer any relief to the market? Can any offer any relief to the market? That's a good question. You know who might? This is a shot in the dark, but let's take a look. I'm thinking United Health. Let's head on down here. Oops, that's this. You know what? This is the CDR, but it's still going to show me their movement, because this is what I wanted to see here. Not the best movement, is it? Because yeah, here's Q1 is kind of in here. So, oh boy, I don't know if they can offer you anything. You know what? My second option would be Tesla, and I want to just actually here. Let's just go to the real Tesla. And here I'm gonna pull. I'll just pull up their 6 month. Oh gosh. All right, not so much. This is Tesla, giant curve down. Oh, I was thinking of some of this movement here, but that would have been Q4. So GE, Procter Gamble. Oh boy. INTC. I'm just trying to see here which ones I feel. So INTC, of course, this is Intel here. Let's pull them up. All right, now let's take a look. I'm just going to go to the 6 month. Here we go. So, all right. So yeah, so the quarter began right here. They had a big movement up, a little bit of a retracement, but not bad. So yeah, I would say Intel. Now, I'm going to still say Tesla a little bit. I would not bet on Tesla, but there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the back of Tesla. They're building, well, one, they're starting to mass produce robots. The other is they've got a huge factory where they're building these new Tesla rigs. They're really cool looking. They don't look bad like the Cybertruck, but holy banana bread. All right. Mary says, let's get to 50. I agree. I don't even know where we are. I'll refresh the test box. We'll see. So yeah, if you have not yet hit that like button, now is the time. And while you guys are clicking on the like button, I'm going to have a quick little sip here. That was very good. 42. All right, let's guys just hit a quick 8 of you. Just quickly throw in a like there. Let's just push it on up. Oh gosh, that was good coffee. Rory, hey Candace, since you're a coffee guru, do you hold any investments in coffee commodities? Nope, I do not. I think there's a high risk in coffee commodities. Because if you have a commodity that weather can come along and destroy the crop and completely ruin your investment, I get a little worried about that. So no, I do not invest in coffee. I will drink it. I will invest in having coffee in my cupboard. But yeah, I'm not going to invest in coffee commodities. Rory says, ring those phones. Yeah, the phones. Get the, call today. And for every pledge, we'll pet a puppy. Or we'll pet a cat. I have cats. We'll pet a cat. Maybe not on the air because there's none in the room. But what can I say? Your thoughts on TELUS. I've been holding on to my stocks, but I wonder if it's time to sell, even at a loss. It's in my RRSP. Okay. So right now with TELUS, we had a lot. Like the telecommunication sector has not had a great month. And a lot of that is in March, the CRTC ruled that they can no longer charge fees on some of the things like cancellation and signups. So that's a big amount of their cash flow just gone. Just bye-bye. See you later. So as a result, we saw a pretty big drop right across the board. Rogers, Bell, TELUS. Now, in addition to that, I think TELUS's dividend is a little high. So when you look at TELUS, so let's just go to TELUS here. TELUS, T. There we go. And here, I'll pull up the 1 year for a second. So you can see what I'm talking about. This here has been that big barrage down. And it's been a sector-wide issue. But because of that, look at where their quarterly dividend is. Their dividend almost looks like an income stock. I mean, it's almost 10%. It is a quarterly dividend, but it's too much. They really need to cut it. I would not be surprised to see it cut in half. I would not be surprised. And I think that would be healthy for the company. Now, with that being said, you're holding it. And the fact that you're holding it, you're like, what do I want to do with this? Obviously, if you're deep in the red, if you sell it in your RRSP, yeah, well, you are realizing that loss. However, and this is the thing, I think it's still a long recovery. And if there is something that you can move it to that is moving a lot faster, that has a lot more potential to recoup that loss, that can make sense. That can make sense. Will TELUS get back? Eventually, sure. But it's a long haul. And if it's bugging you that much, well, I know what I would do. I'm just saying I probably would look at going sideways personally. And Roku is, this is very generous of Roku. So the next 50 people who call are going to get a genuine goat hair tote bag made by Roku out of Stittsville. So it's going to be, instead of Stittsville, Roku's going to be busy making them, so it's going to be Stitchville. So that's what we're going to say. Rory says, free goat rides for the first 10 contributors. The US one. Yeah, exactly. All right. The thing about selling RY is also because I have Bank and VDY, which have a lot of RY. Maybe I should keep my ETFs and let go of RY. And I do like, I like both. I like Bank. Bank's a great income ETF for sure. VDY, very, very good, dividend growth. Dividend growth for sure all the way. So I do like it. All right. Can you compare NPS versus EIT? Who wins? That's a great question. So, of course, NPS, that's, of course, a split core. EIT is an income fund. So they're kind of two different beasts. EIT has been very reliable. You're getting your 10 cents every month without fail. I love EIT for sure. Now, NPS, there's the potential for you to get a much higher yield back. And, for NPS, like their dividend is pretty safe. Obviously, if you look at the Class A and the preferred, if the combined NAV were to fall below 15, then yeah, that you would suspend the dividend. But they're well above it. And I like the management there, and you guys know I've talked to some of the folks behind NPS on the channel a few times. I like them both. I think they serve different functions. I would say, I mean, between the two, I have a feeling that NPS might have and I guess this one part isn't fair too. I don't think NPS has enough history for us to give really a good comparison, but I do like both of them. Right now, if I could only have one, because I don't have that full history on NPS, it might go to EIT just for that one reason. But I think if we had a longer history on NPS might edge them out. GeoCities. Oh God, yeah, I remember. You remember that there used to be like GeoCities, Angel Fire, a few others like that. Scratches. I should have said neighbors in the first place. My bad. No worries. No worries. I always go to the Canadian one first, because, well, Canadian channel. But yeah, so or just give me the ticker, and if it's US, maybe put US in the background in a bracket afterwards, and then I know for sure. Go to the US one. Rules crypto. Is the money supply increasing? Yes. Yes, it is. Money supply is always increasing a little bit. Sometimes a lot. That's when we have a lot of money printing. So how that works, though, is like there is money printing, and I mentioned this the other day. Like there's money printing all the time, because you need to print a certain amount of money to replace money that's coming out of circulation. So, for example, at banks, if you go to the bank and you give them a $20 bill, you deposit it, but there's a little, that $20 bill's in rough shape, it doesn't go back in circulation. It gets taken out of the money supply. And a new 20, of course, is printed. So there is money being printed all the time. They also have like a formula that they use for how much money is no longer in circulation. So lost money, maybe it was destroyed, that type of thing. That also, that will also get printed. And then if we've got, if the Bank of Canada is doing one of their economic things, like they want to lend a bunch of money or buy a bunch of government bonds, well, if they're buying government bonds, they're doing it by printing money. So that's how money will get added as well. And now that money will be inflationary because it will reduce the value, because, if you got a whole bunch of free money added into the system, it means everything's going to cost a little bit more just to make up for it, because the value of your money gets sort of pushed over everything. It's kind of, in a way, it's like when we have dilution with stocks. You make a bunch of new stocks, and everybody's stock is now worth a little bit less. Exact same process. All right. Mary B says, "Good evening from Canada." Awesome. Yeah, it's a good night to be in Canada. I'm broadcasting out of Ottawa, so I think we're still considered part of Canada, hopefully. But yeah, awesome. Let's see. Red says Trump bought Goldman Sachs bonds. That does not surprise me. Crops can get deep state viruses. And let's see. Good afternoon, everyone. From Brian. I'm like number 47. Scratch wants Brian to be president. There we go. 47th president. Telus may have a takeover price. That'd be interesting. I'm just going to check here. See if we got our 50. Just give me a second here. We'll pull this up. And we are 49. Right now, one of you can be the hero. The opportunity is there to be the hero. You just got to click like, and bang, you're an instant hero. And guys, whoever does it, brag, please, in the chat. Just brag. I want to see who's the hero. Let's see. Scratch, just thinking about it, we would do way better with Brian. I'd vote for Brian. I'd vote for Brian. Let's see. Brian says, I don't need billions to retire, just 1 or 2 million. In the good cop, bad cop teams, I was always the good cop. There you go. There we go. I'm probably the good cop, but gosh, wouldn't it be fun to be the bad cop one of these days? It would be fun. I think it would be fun to be the bad cop, but sometimes you You just can't get over your own human nature type thing. Just a good egg. Yes, absolutely. Um, let's see. Saudi oil has the cheapest refining costs. Interesting. Let's see. TA, Hamilton, Evolve, Harvest, 9 Point, Brompton, and Global X dominate the covered call, leverage, and split share ETF market for retail investors. Big banks staying out, or are they simply too late? Um, the problem with the big banks is I think they're too conservative. Like BMO has had covered calls before all of these other companies have had covered calls. So BMO technically was first to the game, but their covered calls are very conservative. They're very, they have a lot of moneyness to them, so they're very well outside. They're very well out of the call, like out of the money. Um, so yeah, BMO was first. But here's that thing. I have a feeling as they become more and more popular, we will see the big banks start to move in. But I think they'll always be on that conservative side. And a lot of it, I don't know, I don't want to say it's all about the regulation and, the compliance that the big banks would have, but obviously those would be pretty big. So yeah, I can see it. And I know even BMO is also starting to come up with new products. They're the ones that have that covered call spread one. And that's very interesting. So that one there, in a way, that one's almost like, some of the new ones, where you're using covered calls and puts in there together. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what's happening. Actually, I have a meeting with Hamilton on Tuesday, so that's going to be cool. See what they want. They probably want me just to make a video for them, I think. But I could be wrong. Scratch says, day rates will increase, and when those wells start producing, it will be all cash flow. Go look at their presentation and earnings call. Looks awesome. Nice. NBR. Yep. There we go. Red says Trump's pals want a share in Aramco. There we go. I can't pronounce things for even if my life depended on it. Let's see. Hence the planned oil glut 2020 and closing the Strait of Hormuz. This has lowered the share price of Saudi Aramco. Okay, so here is a possible strategy for why it's okay to have the Strait of Hormuz closed. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Wired Mom says, what do you think about HPYE and HPYB ETFs? It's early, I know. Yeah, they're both very early, but these are the two I was mentioning that are using puts. So they're using covered calls as well as puts to try to generate some income. So yeah, and here, let's just pull up. It's funny. Every time I look at HPYE, I keep thinking hype. I always say hype, and it's not. So this here is their premium. So right here, this is their premium yield enhanced ETF. I'll just pull up the. They're more than 3 months now. All right, here we go. So yeah, this one here. It is technically down a little bit right now, but and that's why I think we need a little bit more history on this, because, if I looked at this and if this is all I had to go on, I wouldn't be super impressed yet. But these are interesting. Now, don't mind the yields. The yield here looks really small. That's because you don't have the 12 months. So you almost have to calculate that on your own. Now, the other one here, which one did I go for? Let's see, HPYE, HPYB. All right, let's try here. HPYB. All right, and this one here. Now, this one here is kind of a no-brainer. It's the Canadian bank one. So, pretty much anything that's holding the banks have been doing well, because the banks have been doing really, really well. So this one here, when we look at it, we'll grab the 6 month. You can see in this case here, we do have it. It's up. It is definitely up. So I think this one is definitely very interesting, the HPYB. So yeah, I like these funds. I like the idea behind them, but I do want to see a bit more history. I definitely want to see a bit more history on them. But as I mentioned before, these ones are using puts as well as, and I think they're also semi-monthly. If I am correct here, let me just take a look. Key data. Yeah, semi-monthly. So here in this one here, you're getting 7 cents a unit twice a month. So that's not too shabby. TD share, double in price since they got raided. TD has had a good recovery. TD has had a very, very good recovery. And here, let's take a look, guys. TD Bank right here, sitting at a 144.17. I'm going to go to their 3-year. I mean, look at this. Pretty much since about the end of 2024, they've been on a trajectory up. So all of the money laundering stuff, you know, I can say money laundering and bank and TDs doesn't pop into people's minds immediately. Well, maybe us, because we talked about it a lot. But yeah, look at this. I mean, they have gone from $80. They haven't doubled, but gosh, they've come close. I mean, technically, if you take this low here, right here, that low was 73, so they've almost doubled. They've almost doubled in price. So yeah, really impressive, really impressive. All right, could you please mention a few Canadian stocks for day trading? I look during my 1 week off, try to do paper trading. Oh, okay. Day trading is hard. I'm going to say this right now. So when you're day trading, obviously the thing that you want the most is you want volatility, because you're obviously making a whole bunch of moves in a single day. That's hence the word day trading. So I'll give you an example here. Let's come over here. Let's go to my swing list. All right. So this here, these are my swing stocks here. So let's actually, you know what? Let's go to IVN for a moment. All right. So this one here is pretty volatile. So IVN, so Ivanhoe's. Now I've got this on the 1 hour. If you were day trading, you're probably not playing on the 1 hour. When I was day trading, I used to play on the 30 minutes. So I used to break it down into the 30 minutes, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. And here, let me just see if I can. There we go. We'll break that up a little bit. Oops. All right, let's do that. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the best I could do here. But I'm going to be looking I want to see a lot of movement. Here's this 1/2 hour. This is a 1/2 hour was very easily playable. Because if you look at it, and I wonder, can I make this any bigger? Let's see. Oh, I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to do it this way here. All right, here we go. Perfect. This is what I was looking for. So look at this 1/2 hour right here. Obviously, when you came into this, this here was actually the first hour of the day. So it opened right here at this at 1278. It went up. It went up as high as 1293. Now it may not have went up immediately, but that's just what happened in that 1/2 hour. So in that 1/2 hour, it went from 1278. It was up to 1293. And fell, at one point it fell all the way to 1254 before settling back in at 1257. But this here, those longer 1/2 hour candles, this is the 1/2 hour that day traders love. Now, it is the first 1/2 hour of the day. Those do tend to be very volatile, and that's kind of the thing. So when you come in on something like this, for one, you want to make sure that it is a very volatile. So, if you had bought, and the thing is, you're probably, that 1278 is probably unrealistic to grab. A lot of times in that first 5 minutes, I almost would never touch anything. I would usually give it 5 minutes to sort of settle in. Also, the other thing too is to make sure that my bid ask, I want them close. So basically, if this was 1278, I would want a bid ask of like 1277, 1278, something like that. I want it within 1 penny, because the way I used to do it is I was more into, it's scalping. you're basically just trying to grab small amounts. Like even if it went up a penny, if you've got enough of them, going up a penny can be, let's say if you got 1,000. If you got 1,000 of them and you go up a penny, that's $10 right there. So, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. And that's the thing. So you're kind of like, you're kind of chipping away at just different little buys that you can buy. It is, I will point out though, I mean, it sounds easy when I say it. It's not easy. You want to have a good strategy. You want to, if you're paper trading, that's perfect. Paper trading is the time to make mistakes. It's the time to be bold. See what works. See what doesn't work. That's kind of that neat thing. Play a little bit. Whereas once you're live, you may want to be a little more conservative. But yeah, be bold with the paper trading. Make mistakes on purpose. Make mistakes so that you can practice what to do when you make mistakes. Little things like that. So yeah, so this is just one company. Tesla's another, very volatile. This here's the Tesla CDR, but you can't see, this may not be as long as that, but this is very playable. Like almost everything is playable. Some of the things that I used to like to do too is if it was something that had so for example, if I was playing oil has a futures market. Now I wouldn't play it right now though, and I'll tell you why, because we got black swan circling ahead. It can completely tank it very fast, or it can completely pump it very fast. So there's a lot of things going on right now. But one of the things I was going to say is that one of the things I used to do with oil is I'd play oil. I'd be watching. I would have both charts up. I'd have oil, whichever company I was playing. Maybe I was playing XEG or something. But I would also have the futures. And a lot of times, if I saw a dip starting to happen on the futures, I kind of knew that, okay, I'm about to get a dip. My probability of getting a dip right now is increasing. So I could sometimes use that to help me predict, but I'll tell you, it's a difficult game. Most people lose a lot of money at it. I like swing trading just because you're on a longer, you got a longer pattern and it's a little bit easier to play. And I also like to do it with companies that have good fundamentals, so that way I can afford to let them fall, and then they'll get back up. They'll get back up at some point. All right, Leo. Hope you get a good news from Hamilton. Some new products. Hamilton, one of the better cover call companies with Nick at the. I like Hamilton. I mean, Hamilton has some really good ETFs for sure. Some of my favorites, like HDIV, HYLD. I think they're both really, really good. Also, their champion line. I love the champion line. All right, coffee time. Oh gosh, that is so good. Lisa says, I was buying TD like crazy during the money laundering thing. I was buying when it was in the 80 range or less. So happy I did. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. I know we had people like even in chat saying, "Oh, that's it for TD. They're never going to recover." No, they're always going to recover. When you're as big as somebody like TD, money laundering's a big slap on the wrist, but you recover. Let's see. Rory says, like an idiot, I sold TD when that was happening. No, Rory. Bill says, Canadian stocks don't usually make great day trades. They tend to be dividend types of companies. Having said that, some of our small cap oil stocks in this environment might be a good target. And Bill's right. US, like most day traders, will actually day trade in US stocks. So you got to keep that in mind. But for the most part, I think a lot of the day trading I did was in commodity-related assets, for sure. Lance, let's see. I made it just listening today. Had a busy day selling hockey and Pokemon cards at the card show today. Awesome. Well, I hope you did well. I hope you did well. In fact, the Stanley Cup playoffs have started, so that might give you some hype for hockey card sales. I know Ottawa lost yesterday. And that's normal. I expect Ottawa to lose. But the game I'm paying attention to is starting Actually, I think it's starting in like in 5 minutes or so. So that would be the Montreal Tampa one. So hoping the Habs can pull that one out. We'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty sure right now, most of my French audience have just left. They've gone. They're like, nope, sorry, Candace. It's Habs playoffs. Bye. So I think I've lost some viewers for that, but that's all right. Rory, paper trading, no emotion. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a thing. And here's the thing. I mean, some people fall into this trap. New people learning day trading. They'll they'll day trade for a couple of days on paper trading, and they'll make some really good trades. And they'll be like, oh yeah, this is easy. I'm ready. And then they just jump right in. And that's when they discover that the couple of good trades may have been flukes, and you can get burned. You can get really burned. And that's the thing. Just start easy. Don't go in big. Even if you're just doing small. The other big thing too, by the way, is make sure you're not doing this in your TFSA. That's a big no-no. So you want to be doing it in a regular account. Also, keep track of what you're doing, because if you keep a spreadsheet of what you're doing, it'll really, really come in handy when tax time comes around. Scratch says trading is really hard. Sometimes you are a genius and sometimes you are an idiot. Buying cheap and holding value is a good way to remove that emotional control people need in their portfolio. Yeah, absolutely. Oh no, day trading is really hard. But I think the statistic is about 85% of people who attempt day trading fail. So keep that in mind. The odds are not in your favor, but you could be in that 15%. I don't know. Maybe you are, but the odds say it could be rough. And you know what? And even that 15% that do succeed, I think it takes time and dedication for them to get to that point. I think you're probably going to fail more than you succeed initially. Let's see. Red says pulp and paper trading is a private market now. Oh, interesting. Go Habs, go. Yeah, absolutely. And more, yeah. And the Oilers, yeah. Actually, could you imagine if we got a Montreal Edmonton final? That would be awesome, because then we're guaranteed to bring the cup back home. But, I don't know. All your Toronto viewers are still here. Yeah, yep, that's true. Poor Toronto. Yeah, exactly. Poor Toronto. For many. And the thing is, Toronto, everybody was like, they're gonna finally be competitive. They've got Austin Matthews. They're gonna kick butt. Yeah, they fell back to their old ways pretty fast, unfortunately. Brian, I'm in the outer burbs, but I guess I still qualify as Toronto. All right. Let's see. We still have the Raptors for now. There we go. The Jays are actually up 10-1 at the top of the fourth. That's fantastic, because the Jays have not been. They've not been doing well. The Jays have not been doing well. Nugent says, ATRL and VPN. Have you heard of these two stocks? Or sorry, VNP. VNP, no, I have not, but I can take a look. Let's go to VNP first. See what we got here. Let's see, 5N plus. Huh. I feel like I may have seen this one once before, but I haven't paid a lot of attention to it. But nonetheless, look at this. That's not bad. I mean, it's got a good. It's had a pretty good movement here in the last year. What are we looking at? Let's see. What do they do here? Okay. Oh, here we go. Leading global producer of specialty semiconductors and performance materials. All right, love that part right away. Ultra pure materials, core elements. All right, yeah. So this here, they're in a sector. This would be, this here is a sector I think that's going to do really strong. Yeah, superconductors, huge, obviously for chips and moving forward with AI, data centers. All of that, it's going to really pull into this. Now, let's take a quick look at their back end here. They got a bit of debt, not a lot, 70%. Return on equity, 29.92. That's not too shabby. So, all right. So VNP, They get my little stamp of approval. I like them. They're definitely good. Now, obviously, they are a full-on growth stock, guys, because they have no dividend. All right, ATRL. Let's go to this one as well, because, hey, let's see. You may be throwing us a couple of good ones here. Atkin Realis Group. All right, I have definitely heard of these guys before. And let's see here. Let's take a gander. All right, so this is engineering, I believe. Yeah, right here. Real world-class engineering service, a nuclear company dedicated to engineering a better future for our planet and its people. Fantastic. Of course, I'm bullish on, well, I'm bullish on nuclear, uranium. I think engineering, another area as well. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good with these. I'm good with this company. Let's see how they did. Let's take a look here. All right, not as nice as that first one. They've been kind of moving sideways with a lot of volatility, but I really like what they're doing. I still think that this company will have some potential in here. Let me just take a quick gander at the back end. Oh, look at this. This is really good. 24% debt to equity, so they don't have a lot of debt. Really good. Return on equity, 56.71%. Not too shabby. So yeah, I'm liking what I see here with this. I think these are both really strong companies for sure. All right, let's see. Rory, Habs versus Colorado final. Interesting, interesting. Let's see. Oilers, Oilers and the Habs. I do wish Ottawa get to the second round too. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Ottawa is going to get to the second round, but you know, I'd be okay with them getting to the second round because Canadian. Let's see. Brian says, I am 12 minutes away from the Toronto Premium Outlet Mall, which is not in Toronto. It's 401 and Trafalgar. There we go. VNP is a Canadian gem. I bought it at 17. Nice. That's a good buy. Absolutely. Who do people in Cornwall root for? The Habs or the Sens? Good question. Probably the Habs. That's what I'll say. Well, it's funny. When I was living in Calgary, anytime that the Canadians came into play, there'd be a huge cheering section in the audience for the Habs. So, you know, I think they're one of those few people. Also, you'll notice too, anytime they play, like in Florida, well, maybe not so much anymore, but a lot of the snowbirds would be cheering the Canadians. All right. Nugent in with a super sticker, 549. Thank you very much. That does. We have our holiday goat. We have our holiday goat. And this is our spring planting goat. Let's there we go. A little bit of noise here, and oh, watch what oh boy, it's a violent goat. It looks like it was going to swat the duck with the hoe or the shovel. So what can I say? What can I say? All right. Thank you, Nugent. I appreciate that. All right. Scratch says my gem was Aura. Oh yes. Oh yes. Aura's a really good stock here. Let me pull this up here. So this here is what is it? Is it Oracle? There we go. No. Oh no. This is not the one I was thinking of. This is Aura Minerals. All right. Let's pull this up here. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Look at this. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah. Aura Minerals. Let's actually just go right to the back end. I don't think I have to explain what they do, but let's see here. A debt to equity ratio 37%. Now, this is kind of interesting. Like their return on, so they're not profitable yet, 32.47%. But what's going on? This is really interesting. This is really okay. I was looking. Why are they giving a dividend if they're unprofitable? But yeah, that's an old dividend. It looks like they're not doing well. Maybe they might still be. It looks like no. I don't know. I think they don't have a dividend anymore. But let's go. Let's take a look at their overview here. And you know, yeah, they've definitely been doing good. So I don't know why they're still in the hole, at least cash flow wise. We got the negativity there. sometimes you can have negativity because a company is just spending more than they're making. And that can be an expansion related reason. So definitely interesting. But yeah, and Scratch got in at 985. So that's like, well, that's more than a year ago. We'd have to go back like 3 years ago. Yeah, so probably got in somewheres in here early, early to mid 2024. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, not a bad one. And let's just see here. This is a Brazilian gold mining company who weren't out of the TSX to get more volatility in the U.S. market. Augio, these guys. All right, AUGO. Let's take a look at this one. AU, the atomic symbol for gold, and GO. There we go. Oh, this is the U.S. version. There we go. Same company, but the U.S. version. All right, perfect. And we should see a similar looking exactly. We see the exact same pattern. So when you have something listed on two different markets, typically it's going to move exactly the same, other than currency and a few small differences. But for the most part, it's going to be mostly the same. So what can I say? Holy banana bread. All right. Oh, gosh. All right, give me 1 second here. Let me check on something. All right. Here we go. All right. Perfect. Okay. Now we should, we'll pull this back here. We should be getting in about 20 minutes. In about 20 minutes, we should actually get a chance to see what the oil is doing, because that's going to be a big thing here. There we go. Let's pull this over here. And I'm going to put this back on the 1 hour. All right, there we go. And let's head back here to, all right, there we go. And I want to head down here. I want to see, there we go. All right, here we go. There's WTI right there. And Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin. Oh, gosh. All right, I gotta make this a little smaller. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what's going on? All right, here we go. Let's pull this down. There we go. Bang, boom. All right, there we go. We got this back. Bitcoin, at least Bitcoin is on a green thread. It is heading back up. I'm liking it. And just waiting to see here. Is that pre-market? No trades. Okay. Do I actually have anything on the pre-market? Nope. I was going to say. It says pre-market, but that's, yeah, right now we're still waiting on this. But like I said, 6 o'clock. We got a little bit of time to wait. Let's see here. OUIL at 89.3. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. All right. OUIL. All right. I don't see OIUL. I don't see it. Let's just see here. All right. Atrial used to be SNC Lavalin Group. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Karnik. And of course, everybody remembers SNC Lavalin. That was a little bit of a scandal. A little bit of a scandal. I think that was wasn't that like really early Trudeau scandal? But yeah, good old SNC. But nonetheless, I still. Oh, you were saying oil. All right, I hear you. Yeah, nonetheless, I'm still pretty bullish on anything nuclear for sure. Oh, you know who we have not looked at in a while, guys? MDA. So MDA Space, this is another one that I've been pretty bullish on. They were down a little bit on Friday, but I'm going to pull up their 1 year. But lately, they've actually, like quite literally, they regained everything that was lost back here. So MDA Space, they, of course, they're actually very big when it comes to the future of Artemis and the future of what's going to be happening on the moon. Because you guys, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but MDA Space, they're the ones responsible for the Canada arm. So that arm that used to be on the shuttle, and now there's going to be an arm as well with the moon building and all of that stuff. So they're definitely got a big role in there. And they actually, the reason that Jeremy Hansen ended up on that Artemis 2 trip, that all ties back into MDA space as well, because part of the whole deal of building the next version of the Canada Arm was that a Canadian got to go to the moon. So Jeremy was that payback. So part of the deal. I'll take it. I'll take it. It was kind of cool. It was definitely cool for sure. All right. Another thing too. Oh, I'm actually kind of. This is a swing trade that I'm currently in. It's not going well. And all swing trades. Swing trades not always go well. But this has been. I did get into one on bird construction for the simple reason that when bird had their little drop about here, I thought, okay, let's see if they do a bounce back up because I'm very bullish on bird long term. They did not. They went down further. So I'm sitting in this right now, waiting to get back up. I'm not worried. I can wait. I have a lot of faith in bird construction. Bird construction is very good at navigating the federal contracts. So because of that, I've got no qualms. They're going to definitely do well. They're going to get back in the. They're going to get a lot of. They're probably going to get a lot of work as we see more infrastructure stuff start to get underway, and we will. I think we will see a bit more. I mean, I haven't been super happy yet. Like I think the government's been dragging their feet a little bit too slow. But hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. We'll have to see. Yeah. And I don't want to keep saying we'll have to see. I just want to. I do want to see some movement soon. All right. Perfect. I'm trying to think what is. I don't even know what actually. Oh yes, I do know. I do know. So our next video, the next video coming out, it's kind of an interesting 3-tier video. So we're looking at 3 ETFs, looking at a dividend growth. Then we're looking at a simple covered call and then a covered call with leverage. So it's going to be kind of a 3-part contrast. And it's really kind of neat because we got for our regular for our regular straight up ETF, we're looking at XEI because I've had a few people saying, can you throw XEI in again? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So that's going to be coming up. Then I think it's ZWC and HDIV will be in there as well. So I'm pretty excited about that one. All right. Scratch. White people focus on the moon. The real world burns. Enjoy the playoffs. Montreal got Canada's back. Oh, sorry, white people. It's wild people. Okay. I was like, where's Scratch going with this? White people focus on the moon. Okay, no, while people focus on the moon, the real world burns. Enjoy the playoffs. Montreal got Canada's back. Yeah, it's kind of that interesting thing though, and that's the thing. Well, here's the thing. I'll put it this way. There's always going to be problems in the world. And to sort of say that we shouldn't focus on space, the problem I have with that is that if you look at a lot of the things right now that we enjoy today, a lot of the technology we enjoy, a lot of it comes from things like space races. Like the first space race, it improved technology immensely. And that has led to us having a lot of the modern things that we have, everything from cell phones to the internet. All of that did, it did sort of build upon the backbone of some of the stuff that came out of the space race. So I'd like to see this space race sort of backbone a whole bunch more technology that will benefit mankind. Yeah, is the world burning? Yeah. Does it suck? It sure does. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, now let's see here. Brian, a bird may need to hire a few of the former SNC Lavalin employees, and they will get even more work to help your swing trade. Maybe. That'd be cool. Let's see. BlackBerry has formed a triple top, likely to trade around 660 before its next move. Yes, BlackBerry. And Quantum has had Quantum's had a great week. So, of course, we have BlackBerry. They had a great earnings call as well. And quite literally, I mean, the CEO reiterated right away with BlackBerry that they are not that old phone company anymore. They're pretty much a brand new company. They have two areas. They have, of course, their quantum security and their Internet of the Internet of Things. So that's the two areas. No phones anymore. Not to say you may never see BlackBerry on a phone like their security. So one of the interesting things is that the quantum security stuff that they have right now, a lot of it is in cars, many cars. Like there's like hundreds of thousands of cars all around the world using it. That is, oh, somebody asking about bingo. I'll get to bingo in a second, Rory. That's going to only explode, and they're also moving that security not just from cars, but anything autonomous. So you're going to see it in robots, self-driving things as well. So there's going to be some really, really good stuff. And, BlackBerry definitely set up there. Now, in the same vein as BlackBerry, of course, there was also, and this is Xanadu. Xanadu had a pretty interesting week. So Xanadu, first of all, I'll pull up the 1 month. So they IPO'd. So they IPO'd here, basically back here, back in towards the end of March. They didn't do a lot initially, but then they exploded. And now, at one point they were up here at like, 44, 43. Let me just see here. Am I on? Yeah. I wanted to make sure I was on the TSX. Yeah, they have come back a little bit. So I'm hoping for a correction because I'd love to grab a little bit of this. So Xanadu, I think they're based out of Toronto, but they've got some really interesting technology. Like I can see Xanadu being bought. I really can, because I think a lot of their technology could very well be revolutionary. One of the things that I watched a video about, they are able to, they might be able to create sort of training environments for AI that don't use as much power. So, and it's through a completely different form of chip. And I think it's really, really cool. So anyway, we'll definitely be looking more at Xanadu as we go along. All right, Rory says, the Spudneck. Are we doing a bingo today? No, we're not. We'll be doing a bingo, I think it might be next Sunday. Let me just take a quick look. I'm going to pull up the thing here. So the last Sunday of the month. Oh, I'm on April 2025. Let me get to April 2026. All right, here we are. So Sunday. Yeah, next weekend. So the 26th. So next week we'll set up a bingo, because yeah, the last Sunday of the month. Yeah, we'll do it that, and then that way there on the 27th we can play it. So yeah, that'll be cool. I have so much fun with bingo. Bingo is a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll do it next Sunday. All right, Scratch. Did tech really improve our lives? Made it easier, but it seems like people are not enjoying life as they were. Great. All right. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I guess it's hard to say. I mean, yeah, if you go back to the 70s. The family unit, much more interactive. People, much more interactive. Society as a whole, yeah, a lot more interaction. I think that all began to change around the time, well, basically the internet. I think the internet was the beginning of that, obviously. And yeah, when you look at society today, you don't have that same level of interaction. I mean, people do it online, but even now, here's the thing, and this is kind of an interesting move, Scratch. We went from people being very interactive in real life to the internet, and people becoming more interactive online. But now we're moving into AI. We're moving into AI agents. And we're moving into a world where we're not there yet, but where you won't even be going on the internet yourself that much. Your AI agent will be going on. It'll be mostly AI on the internet. We'll just talk to our AI, and our AI will give us everything. So we could conceivably get to a point where most of our interactions are not even going to be with people anymore. They're going to be with AI. So, yeah, the world is changing. I mean, it's changing big time. Unfortunately, I think for those of us who are older and we remember the old days, well, the old days always feel a lot better than the new days. And maybe they are, or maybe they aren't. It could be that we're looking through rose colored goggles. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think, you know, there's many things I love about this new modern technology, like research. I remember the olden days. I guess now, like the 80s and the 70s are the olden days, and that kind of makes me feel old to say that. But I remember the olden days. It's like if I wanted some information on something, I had to get up, I had to get dressed, had to, go jump on a bus, head downtown, go to the library, spend an afternoon there finding the information and bringing it back, and then I could use it later that night. Wow. Just for a little bit of information. And now it's quite literally, I mean, then the internet came, then I could, I could spend some time going through different search browsers and, going through Dogpile and go finding GeoCity websites and all of that fun stuff. And now I don't even need to do that. I can just ask ChatGPT and bang, boom, there's an answer. Well, ask ChatGPT with the sources to make sure the answer is right. And it's continuing to improve. I look at it right now and I'm thinking, wow, where can we go next? I can think of some places, but I'm probably going to be wrong. By the time we hit, even by the time we hit 2035, I think if you could look through a window right now at 2035, I think I think your mind would be blowing. I think my mind would be blowing, and I'm very much a futurist. So yeah. Oh boy. All right. Bismarcky says no more crackberry phones. All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let's see. Being connected to work 24/7 is not good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we will get to a point where, if whatever jobs are left will probably be at home. Unless you work in something very manual, but the world's going to change like a lot. Let's see, with your boss 1,200 miles away. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do, like, I remember, I briefly, so when I first started working at corporate Staples, it was actually funny. I started at the bottom. You always start at the bottom. I started at the bottom and, took phone calls for a little bit. And I was sick of traveling to work. So I went and applied for a work from home position. And I got it. So, I was working at home and had a little office set up for that. And it was fantastic. It's like, I could just, I could go on an after work mode there, 20 minutes before lunch, and then I could order food. And then, so there's a couple times I ordered food while I was working. Like, if I was doing email support, I didn't, I could order food. I could do pretty much what I wanted to. But that didn't last long. That didn't last long because then I applied for a promotion when one came up and I got it immediately. So quite literally, I worked at home for about 2 months, and then I had to come back into the office because, I was no longer a phone person. I was like, okay. But anyway, it happens. It definitely happens. What can I say? All right, we are getting close. We're about 7 minutes away from, from that oil. That oil starting to pop up. Oh, I still got I got the calendar up there. Oh, there we go. Vimy Reg Day is coming. Oh, it's already gone. There we go. Never mind. Okay, let's pull this over. Rory says AI will cook for you at some point. Watched Blade Runner 2049. More than that. Yeah, it'll still, I mean, yeah, it will be AI, but it'll actually be a robot. You will get to a point where you'll have a robot assistant in your house. It'll do all of the menial tasks. It'll clean the house for you. It'll do your laundry. It'll probably cook, and hold a conversation with you. All of that fun stuff. So it's coming. It is coming. Elon's not mass producing robots for nothing. It's not like he wants to, I don't know, create a couple of volleyball teams or something. He's making robots for a reason. But it is coming. It is definitely coming. All right, let's get back over here to our screen for once we start to get some movement on oil. So far, nothing, but we're expecting oil to go up. So we are expecting oil to go up. As long as, I guess this is that one thing that we probably should double check here too. I'm just going to go here. We'll go to CNN this time instead of Drudge Report, just to see if we have anything new. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's some fun. The U.S. Navy fired on and seized Iranian-flagged vessel. Oh, wonderful. All right. Oh, boy. That's part of their blockade. So, all right. Blockade still working. But there we go. So we got stuff happening. let's see if that impacts oil. We'll have that here in a moment. A scratch. We are not obliged to get in this tech revolution. If it doesn't serve life, we don't need it. Why would you ever replace life with non-life? Good question. That's a good question for sure. Why would you? It's kind of this whole thing. Like, there are some people. All right, let me give you an example, Scratch. Some of the loneliest people in the world are some seniors. After your partner dies, if you're the only one there, you're by yourself, and let's say you've got the empty nest thing, and your kids have all moved away, I can see a robot companion being not a bad thing. Someone there to help you out, someone there to help you if there's a medical emergency, just some companionship. I'm not saying that you don't have to give up the human stuff. You can still go to the club and, dance or maybe go play some horseshoe or something, or or wash or toss or stuff like that. There's still lots of things that you would still do with regular people. But imagine having that companion there at the house. So if, you fell and if you took a fall, you've got a robot there that can sort of, quickly assess it and call in emergency especially if, if something bad happened, like many seniors can sometimes fall and break a hip. Not a good thing to have happen, but maybe that wouldn't have happened because maybe the robot would have been handling the chores that you might have been doing when that happened. So I think that there's a good reason for having that. And there's definitely, I think once we see what it looks like, and once they get integrated into society, and here's the thing, I think the younger people are going to adapt a lot faster than some of us as we get older. So I think for you take Generation Alpha, so that's your those are the kids being born right now. They're going to grow up with this. It's going to be as normal as can be. I mean, if you try to explain to them, oh, well, when I was a kid, we used to, we used to talk to each other. They'd be like, what? Why? That's kind of the way it would be. So we'll have to see. Brent at 95. All right, yeah. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Brent's going to start moving up. I don't got anything yet showing, but I should have something here in about a minute and a half. Let's see. Bismarcky, maybe the evil robot tripped Grandma. Grandma got tripped over by a robot. There we go. I like it. Let's see. There is a big loss of sovereignty that I will never accept, but I am a deferent breed, I guess. Yeah, it's you know what? And that's the thing. Everybody has the right to have their opinion on what's going to happen. But the problem is, right? Even right now, whether let's say if you're completely against it, 100%, like, nope, I want nothing to do with it. Well, you can't have nothing to do with it anytime you call a call center. Right now, you may still occasionally get some people, but it's going to get to a point very soon where you can't call a call center. You can't call any kind of help service without going through a robot. So, or just AI, may not need a full robot. I expect to see somewhere's down the road, 911 will probably eventually get replaced by robots, by AI. It's going to happen. Anything that they can do better. Imagine, I mean, and I can see some advantages. So, if you've got 911, if you have an AI, it can, it will remain perfectly calm. It'll be able to dispatch information or dispatch services to you a lot faster. But obviously, before we ever let AI take over something like 911, we want to thoroughly test it because, at that point, lives are are kind of that big thing. But I will say one thing, and yeah, oh gosh, guys, we've already got movement on Brent. Look at this. Brent up to 98. So here we go. Here's this movement. Here's the gap. Look at the gap right in here. So it jumped from 93 up here to 97, and it's moving up. It's moving on up to the top, to a luxury apartment in the sky. Oh yeah. Sorry, I stole that from the Jeffersons. But yeah, the Brent is heading up. I'm not seeing any movement on WTI yet. I don't know why. It still says pre-market, but that's fine. If Brent's moving up, WTI is going to follow. So yeah, Brent 96. Well, yeah, Brent now 98. 98, up 5.66% so far. So we are getting some movement up there on Brent. Nothing yet on the hockey game. It's still 0-0 with 16:43 left in the first. There we go. Rory goes moving on up. Yep. Well, it looks like the momentum seems to be, I don't know. It's still hanging out there at 98. So we'll see. WTI is going up now. Yeah, I am seeing some movement here on WTI. It's now up. Here, we'll switch over to WTI. We've now got our we gapped up and then it's retracted a little bit, but yeah, so we're sitting here with both of them going up. Now, if they don't go up much higher than where they've gone right now, that definitely spells a good day for the market tomorrow. So I like that. I like that a lot. So we'll see how that looks. So what can I say? Holy banana bread. This is pretty good. And now, has that helped Bitcoin? Let's just take a quick look. No, Bitcoin is still, well, it's moved up a little. It's kind of moving down right now. So Bitcoin kind of still, now Bitcoin is getting to that point I didn't want it to go below. I don't want it to go below about here. So 73,900. So that's basically, but it may go below it, guys. It may go below it. Oh, you know what happens if Bitcoin crashes? We get a Gary Gill video. I'm just saying. Good old Gary Gill. Let's see. Scratch. Oil under 90 is nonsense in the next years. Don't trust the Parper market. Yeah, I think oil's going to be expensive for a while. It may come down a little bit. There we go. I'm just watching Bitcoin. Bitcoin's rate. Bitcoin is pretty much where I don't want it to go. So we'll hold on. And oil starting to come back a little bit now. So Brent is now 4.63% up. We got a little bit of a red here coming after the gap, of course. And same idea with WTI, tracing back to 91. So yeah, there we go. So we'll have to see how that's going to look. But so far, not so bad. As long as we don't get any more escalations by tomorrow, we might very well get a green day, guys. We might get a green day. Gary, I gotta get Gary on the show. I'll have to do it this week. I'll just have to, grab Gary and say, all right, Gary. Actually, I think we're both on a thing soon. Actually, the next, Adriano's doing another Pioneers of Passive Income. And I think both me and Gary are on the next one. Actually, I think it's me, Gary. I think Paul is on it too. Let me check. Let me pull this up here. Let's see here. All right, let's see. All right, okay, I can tell you. Now we're meeting on. Oh, we're meeting on Tuesday. This is Tuesday as well. Okay. I guess Tuesday I have Hamilton and and the passive income podcast. So yeah, it is. Yeah, it's me, Gary, and Paul. Me, Gary, and Paul. Um, I think that's all I see. Wait a minute. No, there's more people. Oh, I think Jordan's going to be there as well, and somebody else. I don't know who they are. So there's one other person I don't know, but yeah. So it's going to be it's going to be a full house. So that'll be cool. That'll get filmed on Tuesday. I don't know when Adrian will drop it. Adriano will drop it. So yeah, that's coming up as well. Oh boy, Tuesday's going to be really, really busy. If Perry's on the show, you'll never get a word in, Candace. I'll get a word in. I'll get a word in. I'll get a word in for sure. Who is Gary? Looks like I am always missing out on jokes. Gary Gill. He has a YouTube channel. So here, let me show you. Why not? Let's go to Gary's channel. Let's just do it. All right. Oh, look, I already got Gary Gill right there. Let's go, Gary Gill. All right. So here's Gary Gill. He tends to be a little bit more clickbaity. So I'm impressed. Richer than you think. He had, here's one of his MSTE. So I'm done. But yeah, he got in pretty deep with MSTE. He's got holding a lot. So when it had the big crash, when Bitcoin had the big crash, he had a video. I think it said something like, like I lost $100,000 or something. It blew his channel up. It blew his channel up. But yeah, so he tends to. Actually, here, let's actually go to his channel. You know how to find that video? We'll just go to, let's see, videos. And let's see, latest members on. Wait a minute, latest. No, we want to go to popular. Here we go. Let's see here. Which of these? Oh, I thought he had. I can't remember. Oh well. Anyway, that's who Gary Gill is right there, guys. Yeah, I mean, if you guys have never been over to Gary Gill, give him a follow. Give him a follow. He's got good content for sure. So that's who Gary Gill is here. And I'll just drop his link in here for you. All right, let's see here. There we go. Gary Gill. All right. Precious metals in the red. Oil up isn't helping them. I'm still bullish for new all-time high for silver this summer. I'm bullish for summer. Absolutely. Luke, Iran has declined to restart talks with the USA at this time. Expect red on Monday. Oh boy. Well, let's actually take a look at something. Let's take a look here. It's probably because of this. The U.S. fired. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the more clickbaity one. Not Box Office Mojo. Drudge Report. So let's see here. I will blow up the whole country. Threatens. Yeah. Iran flexes control. Hormuz standstill. All right. So that I don't have anything yet on that, Luke. But yeah, if Iran has indeed declined to restart the talks on Monday, that would be a red market. That would be a red market. Because if they don't do it, I mean, Donald Trump threatened to blow up once again. He threatened to blow up the bridges and the power plants, all of that fun stuff. All right, let's see. Not my type. I'm in the toxic brand. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Rory said Drudge or Fox News. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Drudge used to be very right. But interestingly enough, I find now that they're not as right as they used to be. And they've actually been a little bit more harsh on Trump. So I would definitely say Fox News. I think Fox News would definitely be further right than Drudge Report. So always an interesting thing. But Drudge is very famous for their clickbaity titles. You know, not to say. I mean, yeah. Oh, whoops. Yeah. Obviously, go away there, ad. Obviously, Trump made a big threat on Truth Social. So, what can I say? Now, do we have No, we still don't have a score yet in the hockey game. So there we go. We're following everything. It's live. Everything live. We got oil. Oil's still up, but it's lost its momentum. It has lost its momentum. That's WTI, and of course here is Brent, and Bitcoin just hanging out there at just above 74,000. What can I say? Holy banana bread. All right, guys, we got about, I don't know, we got as long as you guys want, but we typically end here in about 20 minutes. So if you have your last minute questions, just get them in right now. It's not saying we're going to leave, just that let's just get them done. Let's get them done and we'll get it over with. I can also have some coffee at the moment. I'm running out of coffee, guys. All right, that was very good. And I am officially out of coffee, so there's no more coffee. All right. And guys, we did get above 50, by the way. We're sitting at 57. So we got 2 more likes than we got people right now. But I still know that there's probably a good amount of you who have not yet hit that like button. Because, yeah, people come and go through the show, and that's kind of cool. That's fine. I'm okay with that. All right. I guess I don't have any last minute questions, do I? Oh, boy. Oh, so my next... So I mentioned as well, we're doing the tier video. After that, the next video after that, I'm actually doing a Blossom video. Not in the way that you think, though. So Blossom has this new AI. And here, let me show you. Let's go over there. Boop-a-doo. Where is my Blossom? There we go. It's just... All right. Blossom has this new AI here. So it's Beavis. Of course, who did we name this after, huh? Obviously named after Brandon Beavis, but so I worked with Beavis to come up with its favorite 5 growth income ETFs, and we're going to look at it and review it. I think it's a lot of fun. Then after that, I think I have to do the 0 to 100K challenge. So that's one that I do. But then the one after that is going to be the one I scripted today. And that's going to be, we're actually doing a top 10 list. But wait a minute. Yeah. I was going to say, was there something I missed in there? No. And that one's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be I kind of did it in the style of, do you remember the top 10s lists that you used to get in the 80s for music? I tried to do it sort of with a little bit of flavor for that. We'll have to see how that works out in the filming, though. Lance says I forgot to hit it. I was 59. Nice. So you know what? I bet you were at 60. I'll just refresh that one more time. We'll see. We are 61. 61. There we go. So pretty cool. Holy banana bread. So yeah, we got a couple of good things coming up. I do want to get, if you guys remember my old series, This Week Conversations, like I've had Brandon Beavis on for a conversation, and Adriano. So that's what I want to grab Gary Gill for that. So we'll, or maybe somebody else, we'll see. We'll get that going, get that going again soon, because I really want to get one of those going. Maybe even bring Adriano back for, I want to bring Adriano back for one reason. When I had my live stream that I did with Adriano, best viewed live stream I've ever had on the channel. So by a long shot. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. Bismarck, he says, let's get to 70. Well, sure. I mean, guys, if you want to get to 70, we got a good 15 minutes. Let's see if that can happen. We are currently sitting at, I think, 61. I'll refresh it again. Why not? Yeah, we're still at 61. That's disappointing. It's disappointing to refresh and the number doesn't change. It's like, meanwhile, in the hockey game, the Montreal Canadiens are going on the power play. They've got 2 minutes. They got 2 minutes. I don't even know why they're going on the power play. Oh, it's a bench penalty for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Too many men on the ice. There we go. See, I could be a hockey commentary, or something like that. So yeah, maybe we'll get a goal. Maybe we got about 9 minutes left here in the first period. Oh boy. All right. Don't quit my day job, right? That's what I would say. Holy cow. All right. That's kind of cool. All right, guys. Well, it doesn't sound like you guys got much more on your mind. So if that's the case, we can end this a little early. I'm okay with that. I always look at it this way: when we run out of stuff to say, that's when it's time to close the stream. This has been this has been a really good one, actually. We did fantastic. And of course, a huge shout out to Paul, Red, Scratch, and Nugent, because, you guys all contributed, added a show for tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. We've got a show. I can't wait. Also, guys, channel members, don't forget, we do have a after office hours coming up on Tuesday night. So those are always fun. I love those. It's my chill stream. We almost talk about everything but finance, but you guys can still bring finance questions to it if you want. If you want, or you want me to demonstrate something, that's always cool. All right, guys, let's go big here. All right. Well, once again, another great show. If you haven't seen that video I dropped on Tuesday, and here, you know what? Let me just grab the link for it. This was a great interview. I like it. And I also tried to keep the interview short, which is sometimes hard to do. But definitely check this video out if you have not yet seen it. It's my interview with 9 Point. A lot of great information in it, especially with their high shares. And ECHI actually comes up quite a bit as well. So anyway, guys, until next time, I got a couple of words I did want to say to end this, and you guys know what it is. It's simply bye-bye. Oops. I guess I have to hit the button first. It is bye-bye.